The sky over Texas weeps. And beneath that sky, amid the wreckage of homes, churches, summer camps, and entire communities swallowed whole by water, a lone voice rises, the voice of a man who once sang joyfully of this very soil, now trembling under the weight of unspeakable loss. That voice is Pat Green, country music's proud son of Texas. A man who has made a career out of painting the spirit of the Lone Star State in song, who's taken stages from Austin to Amarillo, belting anthems of love, loss, and the land that raised him. But today, his guitar is silent. His stage is sorrow. And his lyrics have turned into a eulogy. Because this time, the story isn't in a melody. It's in the stillness that follows catastrophe. It's in the breathless silence of grief. On July 8, with a heart heavy and hands trembling, Pat Green took to Instagram to speak not just as an artist but as a brother. As a father. As a grieving Texan. And what he shared was a wound still fresh, still bleeding, still barely believable. Over the weekend, during the devastating flooding that hit Central Texas, my family, like so many others, suffered a heartbreaking and deeply personal loss, he wrote, the words nearly too heavy to type. In that flood, in that roaring, relentless tide that surged from the Guadalupe River and stole more than 100 lives, Pat Green lost his brother. He lost his sister-in-law. He lost his 2 nieces. 4 voices. 4 lives. 4 radiant lights gone in the blink of a storm. A whole branch of his family tree, uprooted by merciless water. It is a loss that defies comprehension. A pain too immense for even the strongest lyrics to contain. But Pat Green, in the way only a Texan can, found the strength not to scream, but to share. To open his sorrow to the world. To grieve not in solitude, but in solidarity with every neighbor, every stranger, every fellow Texan who now walks through a similar valley of shadows. We are grieving alongside countless Texans whose lives have been upended by this tragedy, he continued. Not as a celebrity, not as a headline, but as a man crushed by a moment, seeking only to hold the hands of others crushed too. The Guadalupe River, long a symbol of beauty, recreation, and life, has become the site of death and despair. It rose not slowly, not gently, but with the sudden ferocity of a force unchained. Heavy rainfall transformed peaceful waters into a monster, overwhelming every barrier in its path. Entire towns were turned into lakes. Camps were submerged. Families were torn apart. And on Tuesday, July 8, the death toll crossed into triple digits. Over 100 lives lost. Rescuers, exhausted but resolute, entered a 5th day of desperate recovery efforts, clinging to hope with blistered hands and tear-streaked cheeks. Among those faces of loss is now Pat Green's. A face known for smiles, now etched with sorrow. But this is not just his story. It is Texas's story. Because what has happened here is not merely a disaster, it is a scar that will mark a generation. The worst flooding in years, the most fatal in recent memory, a calamity that ripped through the heart of Central Texas and did not discriminate. It swallowed the young and the old, the rich and the poor, the known and the unknown. It left no community untouched, no soul unshaken. But in the wreckage, in the devastation, a quiet, unshakable resilience stirs. Because Texas, for all its pain, does not stay broken. And Pat Green, even in grief, knows this. He was born of this land. He knows its strength. He has sung of its pride. And now, he bears witness to its tears. This moment is not about stardom. It's not about record deals or sold-out shows. It's about what it means to be human in the face of unimaginable loss. It's about a man who once stood under bright lights, now standing in the dark, searching for the pieces of his heart scattered by the flood. His music may go quiet for now. His voice may tremble, but his grief speaks volumes. And in that grief, he honors his family, not just by mourning them, but by uniting with every other Texan who now knows the same pain. This is not the end of the story. The water will recede. The mud will dry. The sun will rise over Guadalupe again. But it will not rise on the same Texas. It will rise over a land that has been humbled, that has wept, that has prayed. And it will rise on people who carry with them the memories of those swept away, people who will rebuild, who will sing again, even through their tears. To Pat Green, your fans mourn with you. To the families of the fallen, the world hears your cries. To the people of Texas, you are not alone. And to those we've lost, may your souls rest in peace, carried gently now by the river of remembrance.